and welcome to Convict Inc. I'm your host, Robert Rosso. There's a bunch of things I've thought about in the last week or less. I kind of just want to wrap them all up, hence the title of today's audio. So let me start off with talking sending a message for all wardens. We have a new warden here in this facility where I'm at. I came in last week, and here he is, Captain Warden, I'm going to change the world, fix everything, tuck in your shirts, make your beds, and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, starting Monday, there's a policy, no sleeping past 7:30. Never mind the guys flopping in the cell next door. Never mind the guards bringing in all the contraband. Never mind everybody strung out on drugs. Let's forget about that. Make up your beds. Hey, you know what? And I can talk shit and say this because I don't give a fuck. I've got less than 10 months left no matter what with no paper. There's nothing anybody can do to me. Put me in a hole, take away my telephone permits. Wow. Big deal. I don't care. This is beyond stupid. And I've seen this happen through so many years of incarceration. You get a warden, a new warden comes in, and they can't fix anything, so they want you to tuck your shirt in. They want you to make your bed. They want clean yourself. I mean, granted, all that stuff, well, tuck your shirt and all that. I don't even want to get into the uniform stuff, but I'm just talking about, I can see keeping your cell clean because there's a lot of nasty motherfuckers that don't do it. I get that. But when you, make that your priority and focus, it shows you can absolutely control nothing else. Wardens need to get a grip and learn how to control other things. Number one, staff bringing in contraband. And I know that doesn't make me popular being incarcerated, and people are right, but whatever. I mean, I make no qualms about it, and I don't hold my tongue back in here either. That's number one. Number two, Trump. Donald Trump, the abortion issue might bite him in the ass a little bit, but let me tell you, just by watching blacks incarcerated, blacks that are locked up, black people, African Americans, whatever we want to call them, I don't even know one that's not for Trump right now in here. I don't, and I've never seen that. I remember when Trump ran the first time, it was on the down low. There'd be a couple guys that were black that would come talk to me and supported Trump. There is not one that does not just think Trump's the greatest thing that ever happened. And I'm going to tell you this, too. It was the white guys who watched the news religiously. This has not been the case since I've been incarcerated this time. It's the black TVs where the news is on most of the time. And that's the truth. And it's that there's been a shift in that. And you can thank the election of Barack Obama. I watched that firsthand. I watched so many black guys who were not interested in current events, or especially when it comes to government stuff or politics, I should say. That's the word I'm looking for. Not care until Obama was elected. So no matter what anybody thinks, the election of Barack Obama really did change things, and you can see it. This is a microcosm from what goes on out there, and you can really see it. How many African Americans are really paying attention to politics, and I think that's really a good thing. The Eclipse, I don't know how many people got to see it. Crossed right over where I'm at or right by it. We actually got to go outside right at that time. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know who saw it. I did look up without glasses. And I'm going to tell you something. I have what I guess is going to be what would be called a cataract, a little white floating dot. A little black floating speck in my eye. And I believe that's the first stages of a cataract. I looked up at that eclipse, and for 2 days I didn't have that speck in my eye. And that's the truth. But anyway, it just came back. But I thought it was amazing. I saw a little bit of the colors changing, and like I said, I didn't look up too long, but it made me really feel the universe. And I know that's just kind of a personal thing, but it's true. What else? This private prison thing kind of has me, like I said, really, really confused. Again, on one hand, it's really crazy that people actually set up a prison system for profit, off human beings. That seems very sick. On the other hand, they do a way better job. Let's see if Super Warden is going to change everything. But they do a way better job on dealing with everybody in here. And I don't know. And I don't know how to explain it yet. Everybody's basic needs are met, and they really don't have to go to commissary and buy anything. And what I mean by that is people have this misunderstanding, like that you're given so much stuff in normal prisons, like your deodorant and stuff like that is not taken care of. That's not true. You're supposed to get supplies if you're indigent in the feds. That's rarely the case. So people kind of have to go buy their own stuff. And I'm not saying we should or shouldn't. So that's not my point. My point is, in these private prisons, they give you 7 pairs of underwear, 7 pairs of socks, razors when you shave, whatever you want, toothpaste that works, deodorant that works. And anybody that's been to the joint knows what I mean by deodorant that works. Usually they give you deodorant, that Bob Barker shit that we were stuck with for, 3 decades. That's the thing in the past. They've got deodorant that actually works. I would take this deodorant home. No bullshit if I could. And, but the whole idea of for-profit off people, especially, like I said the other day, making a mockery out of it, addicts for sale, our government selling addicts to these people, there's something wrong with it. And there's something even worse that we're stuck in here. The more I sit in here, and I'm clean, you know. The 4th is my 60th day. I made it past the 60-day mark. Who knows what the fuck's going to happen before I get out? I don't know. I'm not even going to say. Who knows? All I can say is that I've read the NA book 4 times and the AA book twice now. Something I've been really trying to focus on. Yeah, I've had some slips in judgment that I wish I wouldn't have. Namely, saying something about modernized relationship, even though it's hard for me not to. I do regret the last 2 conversations, by the way, on that subject. Shout out Johnny Mack, who I know made a comment to somebody, and Johnny, you weren't wrong. I don't have your number. I probably will call you, and I'll get that. Oh, by the way, the Jimmy thing that I put out yesterday, I had no idea that Jimmy was on the loose, disheveled, running around homeless maybe, I'm not sure, but looking for MRE. Like, I didn't know. I swear to God, when I put that out, I had no clue until afterwards. So I didn't try to, like, spring off what was going on or jump in off what was going on about Jimmy. I said that I didn't want to get involved back in that. Who knows? And who am I to talk to? And I should watch what I'm saying about homeless too, because at least he has a car. My car's now broken. I don't even have a car. I'm hanging on the thread by a house, and my living situations don't look great when I get out. Not that I don't have a place, but well, I'll say it. All the opportunities that I have, and again, once again, like before, once again I come to prison, and I have some really, really good opportunities for when I get out. The problem is I have to make it past the point of when I get out. I'm going into a situation that's kind of a setup for me to fail, and that's the honest truth. And I don't know how I'm going to get past that. But I guess I'll leave that alone for now. But I can very easily see me going back into old patterns. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I have a choice. I'm not saying patterns are going back on old patterns choice, but I think I'm going to be put in a situation where it's going to be too tough for me to jump out of. I don't know, but I'll see. We've still got time in here, and who knows what's going to happen. Otherwise, what else did I want to cover? I just wanted to make about that Jimmy stuff. Hopefully, let's all say a prayer for Jimmy as far as that goes. Anyway, MRE, I hope you're safe. And then again, look what happened between Johnny Mack and Chris. Maybe Jimmy will show up, and then MRE he'll press charges, but who knows? Okay, and I'll shut up too, because now I'm really jumping into it. Otherwise, going back into the private prison thing, I'm having more of a hard time with it. And I'm having more of a hard time with the fact that I'm locked up just on I shouldn't say, I don't know, do I just say on dirty urines? Because there's numerous ones, even though I wasn't dirty for half. Well, I shouldn't say half. I wasn't, whatever. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I'm put back in here in a place that's just totally saturated with drugs, and I don't. It's like it doesn't make sense. This does not make sense. And this isn't about private prisons either. This is about the whole system. Because now, by the way, Suboxone's free if you want to be on it. So all you got to do is sign up for it, maybe go through a couple hoops, and you get on it, and they'll give it to you right at pill call. So now you can just get high at pill call. It's free. Boom, just right on it. So now that's changed since, I guess, the First Step Act. Medically assisted treatment. I think that's what it stands for, the MAP program. Most people on it. Trust me, my brain has said maybe I should just do it and just stay high while I'm in here. The problem is, as I know for sure, even it'll make my situation even rougher when I get out, especially if I'm strung out on Suboxone when I leave, because it's just, you got to go through all that dope sickness. And I just don't want to do it. But I will say that it's very easy to get on the program if you really want to. So many people are. Now everybody's medicated and here for free. I do know that when I left prison, I'd already started drinking. I hadn't drank for years, and I already had that taste of alcohol. And that was done during COVID. When COVID hit, the warden of the institution gave the instructions, don't bother them, let them get high, drunk, whatever they want to do. And that kind of started me in the direction of alcohol, which when I got out the first day and it was brought to the table, I didn't even reject it because I'd already been drinking it. I'd like to think that had I not been drinking it, I would have at least paused and said that I don't drink. But I started drinking before I got out, which then led to everything that happened to me. I do believe, not making up excuses, but for every action there's a reaction or vice versa, and one could have not happened without the other. And that's why I do think that context is so important with everything, especially from a psychological point of view. When people try to look back and reflect on see why, how, it's just so important. That's psychology 101 is context, and that's true. And Marta, I'm not saying that about you because I know you're thinking that personal, but it's not. I have been through a lot of different psychology things since I've been in sessions, I guess you will. That, if anything, so far, that's been the number one thing. When I went to rehab back in September, I took a deep dive within myself, and this has kind of been an extension of that, and it's kind of weird how this all fell into place. And I will say this, I'm just finishing an autobiography about Kurt Cobain called Heavier Than Heaven. I have read several on Kurt Cobain since 2005. I've read this one before. It's the best one about him, and it is remarkable the way the writer really dives into what made Kurt Cobain and what made him turn out the way he did. And it's like, honestly, his childhood is almost like reading into my childhood, except he was born first, I was the baby boy. But as far as abandonment issues that he had and things that happened in his life, it's like parallel. And it's hard to explain, but the writer put it in such...
You have 1 minute remaining.
Put it in such perfectly written detail that it was like, oh my God, okay. It's like I even found things about me within his writings about Kurt Cobain that have been profound. Again, what do I do with them? Who knows? That's a whole different issue. Well, okay, so that's my rambling for the 15 minutes today. I can't think of anything else. What do I want to touch base? Oh, there was a guy that just left here. I think I might do something about him tomorrow or the next day. Anyway, his name was Tim. We'll see what happens. All right, take care. Bye-bye.